Hi, I'm your host, Brenda.
And I'm Mac,
Welcome to Girl Logic.
where if it makes sense to us, it
It
just
just
makes
makes sense.
sense. Okay, first episode.
First episode ever.
Yeah. So super awkward.
Very awkward. We're still trying to figure out how to do this and what we're going to talk about. But I think today we really just wanted to introduce ourselves. uh,
Yeah. Talk about
Share,
goals,
yeah,
kind of manifest whatever we want it to be, if we want it to be anything, and see where that takes us. But yeah, I guess we could start with why we're even doing a podcast,
mhm,
maybe. So how long ago was that now?
maybe a
Not,
month.
yeah, not that
Not
far.
that far.
I came over to Brenda's house and I forget what was going on, but I was like, I just am always like an emotional wreck when I come over here. So I was like just ranting and talking about everything and anything. And then I was like, oh, one of my dreams in life is to have a podcast. She goes, oh my God, I just recorded my first episode yesterday. I was like, hold on a second. Let me get in on that. So that's kind of the start of it. And then we just like went crazy that day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was so, well, no, I remember now, actually. We were on TikTok. I think this all started because we were on TikTok, and I was like, "Look at these people making." No, okay, it's coming back to me. Remember the guy with the really long nails with, like, all the little charmed out
Yes.
nails?
Yeah.
We were watching that guy, and you were like, "How does somebody—" Oh, because we found out that the nails cost, like, $1,000
Right.
per set,
Right.
and you were like, "How does somebody afford to do this?"
Yeah.
And then we looked at his profile, and we were like, "This man or woman, I don't know, is making money just talking and showing his nails."
Yes, which so many people do. Like, I don't understand it at all. But I was like, worst case scenario, we talk and people listen.
Exactly.
Best case scenario, we talk and we make money and people listen. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we kind of went crazy. So that day, then we were at Home Depot already.
Yeah, we went to Home Depot, we went to Ross,
Yeah, we bought like
we
we
paint.
picked out all the furniture. We're in Brenda's house. We took over a room of her house. Shout out Chuck, her husband. Thank you for letting us take over. But yeah, so that day we just Pinterest boarded like crazy, started making lists, and things just kind of flowed for us, which is nice because
Mhm.
every time I've thought about making a podcast on my own, and I have friends who are podcasters and stuff, like they all have content. I was like, I don't know what to talk about. Like, I don't think my life's interesting enough. But Brenda's life, she's like really educated on a lot of stuff. So it's kind of nice because Brenda's going to bring a lot of the brains to the operation.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, and I think what I've always admired about you is just, like, you're so funny and, like, you're so good at just, like, telling a story and, like, reeling people in, so I think it's gonna be fun. We'll be able to, like, bounce back
I
off of
agree.
each other.
And I think the strengths are going to align with kind of what our ultimate like message is, which we haven't even really talked about yet. But Girl Logic is a podcast more about health and wellness to an extent, but just like being a girl today, which
Mhm.
sounds crazy because if you're a girl today, you're like, I already know how to do that. But it's like sharing our experiences in a way that like makes you maybe hopefully feel less alone and also kind of tying that health component into it because anymore, every time you open up your phone, it's like, try this new thing. And it's like soul crushing, I think.
Yeah.
So maybe hopefully bringing some fun to like things that work and things we've tried and I don't know, building a community in that way.
Yeah, yeah, and it's such an interesting time to be a girl, I feel like, because there's just so much information out there now. I try to think back about our parents and what they went through, and I don't know, they're probably just
They just
concerned about
did
the
it.
normal things, like,
Yeah.
"Oh, yeah, I don't know, work, cooking, that's it."
Right,
You're
like,
not thinking
just
like,
I go home, my
"Mhm."
husband's there,
Yeah,
I make the dinner, I take the kids to the
just another
practice, like, it's just
day.
so
Yeah.
simple, anymore there's it's information overload, and you hear that all the time, but, like, constantly berated with just all kinds of stuff, and it's I don't know, I could go on a whole rant, and I'm sure we'll get to a whole episode about social media and things, but, like, it's so easy to compare your life to all the lives you're seeing because people are just, like, sharing everything, whereas back then, like, they didn't see that stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel it especially now in my bride era,
Mhm.
like planning bachelorette, like planning all this stuff. I'm like, oh, well, I need this, I need this, I need this. And like back in the day, they didn't know who did what. So
No, it was
it was
like,
like
"I'm just gonna do what I
we
want,
love
whatever
each other.
comes to." Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Whatever comes to mind to me, what
right.
I wanna do. Whereas now it's like, oh, TikTok, searching up bachelorette,
Mhm.
Pinterest, searching up bachelorette, YouTube videos. I'm sure people blog about this now.
Oh, I bet.
Like, I haven't checked, but I'm sure they do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
I forgot where I was gonna go with that. Well, and 2, wedding topic, everything is, like, so piecemealed anymore, like, it's not cut and paste like it used to be, and
Yeah.
you don't always get married in a church, you don't always do the same vows, like, there's so much stuff like that, so you're like, I don't know, you're just trying to pull from everything, and then you have this whole hodgepodge of, like, "I hope this works out." Like, I don't think they thought about what's prevalent right now for me. I'm picking music for, like, every type of person to walk out to.
Yeah.
The moms, the girls, the guy that I don't even think that was a thing. I don't even think that was a thing. So,
No.
I don't know.
No, I'm sure it was like church wedding,
Yeah.
person playing piano.
Here comes the bride.
That's it.
Da-da-da-da.
Whatever they had their little sheet music for, that's what you get. But
Yeah.
now, yeah, I can't imagine. It's information overload, but also like decision fatigue, I would
Yes.
imagine,
Yeah.
because there's so many choices.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
comes up a lot in work too. Um, I don't know how much we'll go into, like, specific jobs and stuff, but I am a teacher, so right now I'm on summer break. Super excited, really happy. I've been traveling, I just got back from Florida, so finally settling into summer, which is really nice because it's, like, mid-June already, which is
I know it's
crazy.
crazy.
So I'll have a lot of time to devote to this, but also I'll be able to give you my best self before I head back to work, and you'll be able to actually see a physical change in me. I'm hoping to still have spirit and a sense of life as I go
Yes,
back,
yes.
but it does drain as we get closer to Christmas and stuff. So, yeah, like things like that, having to make decisions in the workplace depending on what you do for work. I know you have a lot of flexibility in your
Yeah.
day, which is different than mine, which is cool too.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, I guess I I went from a very, like, conventional corporate job to now I have my own business, but I'm also working part-time somewhere else, essentially, and it's like, I do have a lot of flexibility. But the issue then becomes, wow, I could technically do whatever I want today, like, there's always that little devil on your shoulder that's like, you should just rest today, like, just don't do anything."
Yeah.
And, some days you wanna listen to it, but some days it's like the whole week feels
You
like that, and you're like,
yeah,
"Should
you can't.
I?" No,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, growing up, I was always in sports clubs, like everything. So I always had my schedule determined for me. Then, like going through college sports, like working a couple jobs in college, like same thing. You get out and you're like, oh, free time. Like
Yeah, what
this is weird and I don't know how to manage it. Like, and
yeah,
especially we graduated a little bit different times, but I graduated 2020 in the midst of
right in the
COVID.
middle
So
of co
not only is it like, oh, here, your whole life is ahead of you, you have free will and can make any decision you want. It's also, but you actually need to stay inside your house for, like, the next couple months, so it's like, wow, I don't know how to operate in society as an adult. Like, it is
Oh, yeah.
so, so strange.
I
Like, I
can't
feel
imagine what that must have been like. Because it's like, yeah, you have to stay at home. I mean, back then it was like, don't get close to people, don't
yeah,
go out, don't travel. It's like,
right.
what do you do? What did you do?
I drank a lot of wine. Um, I was at my parents' at the time, so I was just, like, with my brother and my parents every day, and my dad at the time worked in infectious disease, so he's working,
Oh,
like,
wow.
24-hour days
That's
because
crazy. Because that's what he is
he
all
was
about.
making the protocol that was coming out, which is
Well, doesn't
insane.
he work at a hospital?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
he
so
was in the thick of it.
yes.
Yeah.
So that was crazy, and then other than that, I spent my time, like, trying so many different crafts, which is, like, still so me coded because I'm like, "Oh, I could sew some masks." So I, like, made 3 masks, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not making masks anymore. I'm now painting." And then I would, like, snail mail paintings of people, and I was like, "I'm not painting anymore. I'm doing this." So it was just, like, exploring every hobby I could inside my house. And then I moved outside of DC, so that was
Oh,
crazy.
wow.
Yeah, I
While
moved,
during it?
August. So
So I was still
it was the fall
through.
following, yeah, because
Yeah.
COVID was, like, basically spring, and then that was an adjustment too, but it was nice to see some new faces
Yeah.
and start to go outside.
Oh,
Just
seriously, yeah.
yeah.
Were you living alone at that point, or did you have
I had a roommate. I met
nice.
her on Facebook, yeah, so
Oh, that's cool.
it was quite an adventure for me. I'm not
Yeah?
the most outgoing type, but, like, I needed somewhere to go, and it's expensive out there, so
Oh, yeah.
yeah, found her on Facebook, moved in with her after, like, 2 weeks, and
No
it went
way.
well, it went
So
well.
you didn't know this person before? You're
No,
just a
I
Facebook
met her
person?
online. I know.
Oh, that's
That might
crazy.
be my only online dating success story.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I think this was right before COVID. So I was kind of fresh out of college and I was living in an apartment with my dad. I was like saving money and all of that. But, after a while, you're like, okay, I want to live by myself and like do
Mhm.
my own things. I was looking for a roommate. And it is the weirdest experience to go through. I
Yeah.
was looking on Facebook, like forums, like groups. I made
Mhm.
my way to Craigslist because some people will be like, oh, I'm renting out a room. And I was like, well, that's
Yeah.
cheap. And I like that. And then also I'm with other people so I could make friends that way. But
Right.
it's like, you never know.
It's
You
such a
never know.
gamble. I was originally supposed to move in with another girl, and we had done a couple, like, phone calls and stuff, like, prior, and I was like, "Oh, this is perfect, like, we align so well," but then her job, like, pushed back her start date. So I was kinda scrambling to find somebody and find somewhere to live. I think I had, like, a month before I started work that I had to, like, find somebody, but it ended up working out. I mean, we had a really nice apartment. My roommate worked for the apartment building,
Oh, that's
so there
nice.
was, like, a little bit of a discount. I don't really know if I got the discount, but I know we got the discount, and, yeah, so she had access to a lot of stuff. She had knowledge of, like, the building and stuff, which was good because I was like, new state, new city, new building,
Yeah.
like, it was a lot.
You need some type of like something to ground you back at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah. Well, you were talking about how it's summer, you're
Mhm.
on summer break,
Mhm.
so that's also the time where it's like we're halfway through the year, which is crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah, June, what, 6 out of 12 months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
What have I done with my life?
Yeah. I was gonna say, it's like the perfect time to check in, like, wow, halfway through the year.
Yeah.
What what are your goals, like, for the rest of the well, we never actually talked about the goals for this podcast, actually. A little bit we did.
Yeah.
We can talk about that too. But also, like, what are our goals moving forward?
That doesn't sound good.
Goals, or I guess, like, mid-year reflection and
Yeah, I think it would be kinda cool to start out with, like, what were our goals, and
Mhm.
then kinda see what shifted.
Yeah.
So, like, I know for me, January hit, and I was like every time I set New Year's resolutions, like, they're all, like, I can't keep them. I don't know, like, I don't think anybody can,
Okay.
and if you can, kudos to you, it is not me. But, one of my biggest ones, and it was kinda just vague, but for a reason, was just building your lore, which
Mhm.
sounds so nerdy, whatever, but just, like, making my life interesting, like,
Yeah.
making it something I wanna hear about, something I wanna read about, something I wanna see, like, even if I don't put it in the public eye, like, looking back and being like, "Oh, I did all these things, like, that's awesome. I finally
Yeah.
figured out, who I am as opposed to living every day kind of like in a mundane way." So, things I've done, which are not a lot at all. I've gotten back into art, which is really great because that's something that was a big part of me that I lost. So I'm kind of tapping back into that, different mediums and things. I ran a 5K, which
Ooh, yeah.
you would have thought I was running a marathon the way I trained
You
and
were
acted,
training very
but
intensely.
and I didn't even run that well. But I was really into it, which is cool because I think
Yeah.
I wanna build up to something like that. Got my dream job coming in the fall,
Yes.
moving to I'm where I wanna be, I'll now be doing what I wanna do, so
Yes.
that's exciting. Um, for background, I was in middle school, now I'm going back to elementary,
It's
kindergarten.
gonna be so cute.
Yeah. And I don't know, like, kind of building at my wedding and things was the biggest, just making
Yes.
everything what I want it to be, and also using my time a little more wisely. Like, I'm trying to lock apps for a certain length, and just get outside, do some stuff. Oh, and, keeping up with my hot yoga.
Ooh, yes, the hot yoga.
Yeah. So those are goals going into the year. How did you start your year? What would that look like?
Yeah, so thinking back, I think for me, it's just like a common theme throughout my whole life has always been health.
Mhm.
And that is just because I am intrigued in health. Like, I am also just very interested in science and all of those things. And I come from like genetic background of predisposition for chronic diseases. Like, my dad has diabetes. My uncle has or had diabetes. Don't know where that is at. But so I'm just constantly and it's something I need to work on, but I'm always like, "Oh my god, am I being healthy enough because I have the genetics that could really turn this upside down?"
Right.
So my goals were really to improve my sleep quality, like actually going to bed on time and all of that,
Mhm.
and having the morning routine be something that's actually gentle and, like, feels like
Feasible
I
too.
am yeah,
Yeah.
feasible, but also feels like I'm slowly moving into the day.
Mhm.
Because my issues have always been, like, wake up, open up my laptop, start working immediately, like,
Right.
no transition, immediately stressed out because 'cause I'm like, "Oh my god, I didn't see this email yesterday," or like, "I forgot to do this yesterday, I'm gonna do it right now." Didn't even have breakfast,
Yeah.
not even dressed, I'm just, like, jumping straight into
And
it.
that triggers fight or flight, right? Like, I think I've
Mhm.
read that if you
Yeah.
go on your phone immediately when you wake up or social media, like, it's
It triggers your brain, yeah,
yeah.
it'll trigger stress, and, like, that is such a bad way to start the morning too because you're stressed out, you're going to carry that throughout, and if you're doing what I was doing, like skipping breakfast and not, taking
Mhm.
care of yourself, you're gonna be tired,
Yeah.
it's all gonna pile on, so that was a huge goal of mine is to just ease into it, and I am lucky and fortunate enough that I have that flexibility, so
Mhm.
I'm like, "You know what? Nobody needs me right now." Like, do
Yeah.
I want to be there because I that's just the type of person I am, and, like, I have that work ethic? Yes, I
Mhm.
want to be there, and, like, I wanna be doing what I need to do, but nobody like, it's not a life or death
Yeah, I need me
situation.
first. Like,
Yeah,
I need to set myself up
exactly,
to
like, eat
sustain.
breakfast, brush your teeth,
Yeah.
put some clothes on.
Yeah.
That was a goal of mine. Another goal that goes along with working from home is just, like, getting dressed in the
Yeah.
day. And you might relate to, like, in summer where it's like
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to go to do something.
It's pajamas.
It's pajamas all the
But
time.
then you have that, like I don't know how to explain it other than, like, pajama mentality, like, I am now cozy and I'm just gonna sit all day, and then
Yes.
you feel terrible,
Yeah.
and also then you're not go like, I'm not going to sleep at a good time yet, like, I'm trying to fill my day with things so I'm not
Yes.
bored. Because if I'm bored during the day, I
Oh,
don't go
yeah.
to sleep, I'm up all night because I
Well,
didn't
that's
get
how
that
I feel
out.
too. It's like that anxiety and your, like, restlessness that you're like, "I wanna do something. I didn't do anything. I wanna
Yeah.
do something." Yeah, that's yeah. So, getting dressed in the morning. What else? I do just want to I've been trying to prioritize, like, friendships more,
Yeah.
because it's been, like, a rocky few years, just, like, a lot of transition period for me,
Mhm.
and I always identify my hard moments because 'cause I'm like, "Okay, I'm self-isolating." That's when I know that, like,
Yeah.
I'm going through it. So this year, I've just been trying to, like, actually go reach out to people more and, like, do
Mhm.
stuff. So that is I hope to like, I'm continuing that throughout the year
Yeah,
too.
I agree that I forgot that one too, but that's kind of been one for me. And not even the sense of just like, I don't know, mine is just being a better friend and being like cognizant of the people that I don't see a lot.
Mhm.
Like, I value a lot of my friendships because it's the people that you can go forever without
Yeah.
seeing, and it's the same, like you hear it all the time. But then I'm like, okay, but these people also need their time too. Like, I'm trying to like make it a point, at least even once a month, to like talk to somebody I haven't talked to in a while to
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
reassure them
Keep
too
it
that, like,
there.
I love you and
Yeah, I
promise
think
I
about you.
yeah, all the time, I just am terrible at telling you, so,
Yes.
yeah.
No, I'm the same way. Yeah, yeah, so you brought up a good point about consistency, and I think that's such a good point to highlight, and something that I have mistakenly done in the past is I try to come up with, these huge checklist things of things I need to do every day,
Mhm.
and, I mean, even looping it back to what you said about social media, it's like you
Yeah.
see it everywhere, and suddenly you think, "Okay, every morning I need to wake up, I need to meditate for 10 minutes, and then I need to dry brush for 10
It's the
minutes, and
damn
then I
get
need
ready
to
with
do"
me's.
Yes.
Like
And then
it
it's like I need to have breakfast, and then I go on a walk, and then I have to do my red light, and then I have to go on the little trampoline, and then I have to do my skincare routine, and then I go on another walk, and it's like, "No. Let's pause."
Yeah, it's 1:30 now,
I
PM. Like,
know.
it's
I literally there is one person coming to mind, I see her get ready with me's, and I'm like, "When do you work?
Yeah.
Like, when do you work?" And I had to unfollow her because I just got so worked up, not only with things in that nature, but also,
Mhm.
like, some of the other things she was promoting, like extreme thinness, which I'm never for. But it like, her get ready with me was, like, hours
Yeah,
long. And then it's funny because other people in the comments were like, "So when do you work?"
right. No, she's working right now, though. That's the
Exactly.
thing, that's the like
No, but she had the audacity, and, like, I don't even know if I believe it. She's like, "Oh, well, I don't put it in here, but I do sit at my desk for, like, 7 or 8 hours." And I'm like, "Do you, though?"
I mean, yeah, I don't. right? I don't know.
I don't
The
know.
what gets me is when they also post to, like, get unready with me
Yes,
because
and she
the
did the same
time
thing.
doesn't line up. Yeah.
No, this girl, longest morning routine
Uh,
that's, like, literally, like, skincare, walk,
yeah.
breakfast, gym, and then she I've seen her whole, like, day in the life, this is why I know,
Yeah.
and then it's, like, lunch, like, cook lunch, meditate, go on a walk, and then unready with me is, like, sauna, red
Yeah.
light, skincare routine. I'm like, when are you working? But also, like, do you have time for other things in your life? That's
Yeah.
also what I start to wonder, like, do you see people? Do you go out? Like, do you travel? You
Yeah.
know?
That question came up in my mind as you were telling that because, like, you're right. Every time I build a routine and then say I have a late night with friends, my routine crumbles. Like, it is just like, I'm not in bed by 9. This is happening. I didn't take this supplement
Yes.
today. I was like, then I'm like, "God, is there any point to this?" Like, but then people like that, yeah, truly, are you being consistent? Or are you just
I mean, some people may
pretending to
be
be?
or just, like, so, like, caught in that they may not even do anything else other than what they're showing, like
Yeah.
and that's what's sad too is, like, you're like, "Oh, I have to stick to my routine, so I'm not gonna do this thing with friends," or like, "Oh, they're gonna go do this cool thing we don't do usually. I'm not gonna go because it interferes with my sauna time."
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, so I think I don't know, crazy, but goals moving forward for me would probably just be the same thing, continue developing, nurturing friendships,
Mhm.
maintaining health. I am curious to get into running, and I don't have you seen those TikToks or videos where it's like, when you hit your I mean, I'm not in my quarter life, I guess, but when you hit your quarter life
I think we're past it.
crisis. Yeah, we're past it. But
That's
I feel
insane.
like that's what I'm at that point where it's like, "Which house are you going
Oh,
into?
yeah.
Marathon?
Podcast,
Marathon?
marathon,
Oh
what is
my plants.
plants?
Plants?
There's one more
Is
reading
it
or
books?
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anthony, my fiance, sent that to me the other day. He goes, "You are all for." And I was like, "I am," because it's the feminine urge to do everything and
Yes.
anything. Like, it's what? Jack of all trades, master of none. That is
Mhm,
me. I
mhm.
wanna try it all, and, yeah, I would
Yeah,
love to
just
be
have
good at
fun
it,
and
but
experience it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 So, moving forward, goals for the podcast, kinda what we're looking at. I feel like coming in with kind of little to no plan for this episode, it's been like a big tangent, which is nice because we agreed that we'd probably be the best duo for this in that sense because we
Yeah.
can bounce so much off each other. But I think what you've heard in this episode, you'll hear extensively in others. Like, I think a lot of what we have planned and what we've talked about so far is extensions of that. So getting into friendships, getting into more
Yeah.
specific ooh, bleh, wellness trends and things of the sort. But I don't know. What do you think is an overall goal for us for this podcast? Like, why are we
What are
here?
we doing here?
What are
Yeah.
we doing here?
I'm I think you touched on it really well at the beginning is like we want to make sure people don't feel alone
Mhm.
in this world of like I don't even know new age girl womanhood
Yeah.
like especially with the age of social media and comparing yourself with so many people and not really knowing is this a polished version or like is what I'm going through is anybody else going through that
Yeah.
and even, like, as a way I almost see this too, like, a self-discovery for
Mhm.
us as well, like, as we get into these topics, we can learn more about the topics themselves, but also, like, ourselves and each other.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree. Yeah, I think things I don't know where I need to figure out the words I'm trying to say right now. Directions I don't want this going. I had something good. So sorry. Uh, brief intermission. Hold on. God, I'm so sorry.
I know earlier you said not politics, not
Oh yeah, like I don't know. I think I just want to preface like we are learning as we go. And I think it's hard to put yourself in the public eye. And I know like we have officially 0 listeners at the moment, but the awareness of what could be, and also kind of the optimist in me, and then like, we might blow up. This might
yeah,
go
there's
crazy.
potential here.
Right. So just like kind of bringing awareness to like, as we move through this, we're going to make mistakes. We're probably going to say things that we regret, like, and just kind of acknowledging that we plan to learn from those, grow from those, and I don't ever wanna I'm not here to put anybody down, like, I know we'll
Right.
talk about kind of trends and influencers and things and that we've seen, but just, like, acknowledging where they're at and where we're at and, like, the disconnect, I think, is the ultimate goal and not as much of, like, an attack and, like, a
Right.
"we're right, you're wrong." It's like a, "This might work for you. You might have that 20-step morning routine, and
Yeah.
it
It
might only
might
take you
be
till
what
9
brings you
AM, but
joy.
for me, it's not it." Like, things like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I think we're never saying anything to say it personally.
yeah.
We're not trying to attack anybody. We are, I mean, I'd say kind of unfiltered, and we're just like,
Yeah.
we're just speaking our thoughts, and we're not trying to do that in any type of like,
Right. That's truly
any
what
type of
they
way.
are. It's just
Yeah.
opinions, thoughts. Um, yeah. I don't know. I'm very cognizant of kind of how I speak to in terms of job and it coming back. This year we had a training at school and it was a lawyer had come in and said, like, if you ever go on a public platform, you ever do anything like that, you need to speak as a citizen of the United
Mm.
States. You need to speak as an individual. If you ever say, I am a employee of, or as a teacher, I feel like it could come back to bite you. So, I'll just throw out allegedly every now and again because I think that covers all in the TikTok world. But yeah, just kind of this is just us as individuals sharing thoughts, opinions, whatever, and hoping that it resonates. But
Yeah.
yeah.
And like if it does, if it doesn't, we'd love to hear it either way.
Yeah.
Like that keeps the conversation going and we can learn more perspectives or
Mm-hmm.
why someone thinks something else.
Yeah,
I'm totally open to my views and perspectives being challenged
for
and
sure.
learning and growing as a person that way.
Yeah, and with that being said too, I think a goal for us moving forward is as much interaction with listeners as possible. So,
Mhm.
like I said, I know we're starting out ground zero, but as we move forward, like sending us questions, sending us like things that have worked for you, like just
Mhm.
anything that you want us to talk about, touch on, or
Yes.
even share with us. If you don't want us to share it, just let us know. Um, Same thing with your name. If you want your name, whatever.
Yeah, just
But
let us
like,
know.
yeah, we're hoping to interact as much as possible. And yeah, that's what I got. That's about it.
And that's it.
And that's the that on that. But yeah, I think this was a great first episode. Like I said, we're gonna dive into more topics more specifically, obviously tangent off of them because it's
Yeah, we'll just flow with it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, we should tell them where we're at too so they can check us out, send us messages.
Mm-hmm.
We're on Instagram.
Instagram, Girl Logic Pod. Also email girllogicpod@gmail.com. TikTok, Girl Logic Pod.
Yes.
Pretty much all consistent. I'm hoping that it stays that way. But yeah, so right now there's nothing on there, but we're gonna work on
Work
photo
on some
shoots and
content.
things. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, beyond that, I think we're just excited to be here.
success.
Yeah.
Great first episode. All right.
Nice. Call it there.
That's it.
All right. Peace.
All right. See you around. Yes.